everybody keeps telling me that I should take him for everything, half, alimony, all that stuff. And I just want to tell you guys, I don't want his money. I don't want alimony from him. I don't want the reminder every month when that money gets deposited of the failure of my marriage. I don't want to have to think about him every month. I want to be able to walk away from this marriage with a clean slate. No photos, no monthly notifications, no shared emails, nothing. I want nothing from him. The only thing I want from him is the divorce and my last name back, because he wasn't willing to continue to support me in trying to grow my business and be an entrepreneur, even though I supported him and his career growth and took care of our home and our animals and all of those things. Did his laundry, made sure that he had a clean home, all the things that a wife does to support their husband during times where one partner is doing potentially more than the other. So in this journey that I have been on, I'm working on so many things. My coloring book is printed and ready to be picked up at the print shop. And you guys, I don't want his last name attached to anything, any of my future success as an artist or as an author. I don't want his last name attached to mine, because he didn't support me in my growth in trying to do what I've always been doing this whole entire time. I'm not a wife who shops. I don't get my hair and makeup done. Obviously, I don't even wear makeup. I haven't had my hair done in, colored or even cut in 2 years. I don't shop. I don't have plastic surgery. I don't go on trips. I don't spend any money on myself. I put every bit of money and energy that I make into growing my business and I was trying to get to a place where he could hand off the baton to me, and instead of him being the caretaker and, being mostly the financial person, bringing in most of the money while I'm trying to grow my business, then, when he's ready to retire, hopefully I'm in a place, and I've worked really hard all those years to get to a place where I can sustain taking care of us for the rest of our marriage, and he can retire and we can do the things that we wanted to do. But he didn't have faith in me that I could do that. And so his resentment continued to grow towards me until he basically hated me. I mean, he couldn't even have a conversation with me, you guys. And so why would I want to continue that on? It's just money. I can make my own money. I don't need his money. And so while I appreciate all of your guys' comments, he did me the biggest favor, honestly, by telling me that he wanted a divorce the morning that we signed to close on our house, because if he had not done that, I wouldn't even be in this situation. I would have never been able to take this trip. I would have been tied up in court with him for a minimum of a year, trying to get half of my money that was my inheritance. That money was my inheritance that my mom put into our home that we bought with her when she got COVID. And I took care of her in our home for a year until she passed away. And so if my mom hadn't put in that money for us to be able to buy our dream home, we would have never been able to do that. And so I'm angry that he got half of my inheritance. But, that's marriage, right? So in the end, I just want to be done with him. I want to be free and clear, and I don't want those reminders. I don't want alimony from him, because I want to be able to walk away with my head held high, knowing that he can go around and tell everybody that I got him into all this credit card debt, and I did all these things that made him have to use our home equity line of credit to handle the finances, when I had zero to do with the finances. This is a man who told me that he was going to work and let me stay at home so I could focus on growing my business again after I lost my Etsy store in 2015. I had to start back from zero. New customer base. I had to rebuild my reputation online. It was a fiasco. And I barely survived that in 2015. And here comes along this man who's supposed to be like this Prince Charming guy who's gonna, oh, I'll let you work. I'll work and let you stay at home so you can grow your business. Well, it wasn't growing fast enough for him. And I guess he thought that it wasn't fair that he worked while I stayed at home, even though he didn't have a single clue about what I was doing during the day, which was growing my business. And when I would print out my paperwork and try to show him my sales, how I've grown year after year after year after year, he didn't want to see it, because that would have meant that he had to acknowledge the fact that I was actually gaining traction. I was actually doing something. And that would have changed the narrative that he had in his mind, that he was taking care of me while I was sitting at home all day, I guess watching TV and eating bonbons. I'm not really sure what he thought I was doing all day. But when I actually tried to show him my success on paper, he wasn't interested. And when I finally finished my coloring book after working on it for 5 years, I worked on my coloring book, wrote it myself, drew the illustrations. For 5 years, I worked on that. And when I finally got it finished, I told him I had it done, and he was like, oh, that's awesome. He didn't ask to see it. I had it up for sale digitally for weeks. He didn't ask how it was doing. He didn't ask if I sold any, because he didn't care. It would have changed the narrative in his mind that I wasn't doing anything and he was carrying the weight of it all. Meanwhile, he was overdrafting his account hundreds of dollars every month and hiding money and transferring money into other accounts at other banks that he had that I didn't even know about, with multiple email accounts. He lied about everything. So you guys, I don't want anything from him. I don't want revenge. I don't want his money. I just want to be done. And so I'm headed back to Virginia to sign my divorce papers on Monday. And then I'm going to go start this next chapter of my life without anything from him except my freedom. So I'm the winner.